Hey everybody, how's it going? Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the Leatherman Skeletool CX. Absolutely, without a doubt, hands down, the best EDC multi-tool that you can have for just general purpose doing everything. If you guys don't already know what this is intended for, it is designed to actually replace carrying a normal set of multi-tool pliers, something big, something chunky, something thick, and carrying a normal knife. Just through that. And it's going to make it a lot easier to have all that just clipped to your belt loop and just very easily accessible, all the really important stuff, none of the little bullshitty extra things that you don't really use. Without a doubt, the CX is the one you want to get. I'll explain why in a little bit later. All comes down to the blade. Has nothing to do with the actual little carbon there. It's just a really elegant looking, very, very, very well constructed, well designed, super durable, super functional, super usable multi-tool that I carry on me almost everywhere. It's one of my favorite things that I actually add to my carry, and when we take a closer look, you'll see why it's such a nice tool. They did such a great job designing it, as pretty much goes with all Leatherman products, but I've just been really excited. It's one of my favorite things. It makes excellent gifts, it makes excellent gifts to yourself if you're like me and just wanted to get something to carry on you and just have, and not really necessarily use constantly, but it's nice to always have a knife, pair of pliers, and a couple of screwdriver bits with you everywhere you go in such a small, elegant, well-designed package. Let's go take a closer look and I'll show you why this thing is so worth every single penny. So here we are, nice and up close and personal with this little thing, and you can see it's an absolutely gorgeous little multi-tool. They did an excellent job designing how this looks, especially the CX version where it comes with that contrast of the silver and the black. A big thing that a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of people consider when they're choosing an EDC thing is they want something to look really nice. I mean, you don't necessarily want something big and clunky. This is nice and elegant and small. It's very lightweight, fits in the pocket extremely well. There's no sharp edges anywhere on it except for the blade, and it's very, very comfortable in the pocket. I personally use this little clip right here to clip it onto my belt loop, but that's just what I do because I think it's much easier to access that way. So let's go and take a look at all the tools you get with this thing. First off, we have the actual pliers themselves. Leatherman always likes to say that there's like 6 or 7 tools on this thing. In reality, you have pliers with wire cutters. That's such a standard for pliers. I don't consider this to be 3 separate tools. I consider this to be one tool. You have your knife and you have your bit driver. Now, the pliers are very well machined. They're actually different than some of the other Leatherman, especially some of the cheaper stuff. It's an incredibly good design, and overall, it's something that you could really stand by and trust because Leatherman really stands by their products. So I have no doubt that this will work every time I ask it to, especially when you get a nice little grip on there and you're trying to cut something really hard or you're just gripping down something nice and tight. You know it's going to be reliable. Give you 25-year warranty, as with all Leatherman products. I never hesitate buying something from Leatherman. They've never let me down. Every single product I've had from them is still working, no matter how many years ago I bought it. I really do like their stuff. Now, the design of the pliers itself, this is intended to be on the further part way of your hand where your fingers go, and then your palm rests here. The only thing that I don't really like is with the bit here, especially using some of the flathead bits that are nice and sharp, they do eat into your hand a little bit. Never really cuts you or anything, but it's kind of annoying if you're trying to grip onto something really hard. You're going to be cutting yourself up a little bit. Next, we have the weirdest part, which is the bit driver. You actually push a little button here is how you access your bits. You have 2 on each side. These are designed by Leatherman. There's no other place you can get them from. Unfortunately, you can't just use any hex bit. It's intended to be just Leatherman. It's a very flat design. Kind of annoying. Let's take a little bit closer look. So you can definitely see there, I haven't even used this that much. For whatever material they're using to actually make these little bits is the worst material on the planet. They scratch in like 10 seconds. Not that bad. As long as they last long, I don't really care what they look like, but some people may be upset how quickly this actually scratches. This is probably after a solid 3 or 4 uses. Just taking it in and out of this thing is enough to scratch the hell out of it. And as you see, I actually haven't used the smaller flathead yet, or Phillips head, and it's still scratched to shit. Last but not least, we have the knife, and that's really the reason that I love this multi-tool so much, is that it is centered around the knife. I find the easiest way to open it is using the inside of your thumb here and just opening it like that. If you're lucky, a couple times you can actually flick it open, but it's really not designed to do that, and it takes like 6 or 7 times to actually get it to consistently open, so I just use the inside of my thumb. So as stated earlier, it is 154 cm. If you don't know what that means, you're probably on the same boat as me. I'm very new to knives. I used to collect a lot of flashlights. I just started moving into multi-tools and knives. They all border very closely as the same sort of hobby, collecting that sort of EDC sort of thing. But 154 cm, they're adding, I think, chromium or something to it. It just, end of the day, it's a different metal here. It's supposed to hold an edge a little bit better. It's supposed to be a little bit more durable. It's actually a harder metal. Overall, like the one thing I've noticed about this thing is that it just has not gotten very dull. It loses that razor sharp sort of finish after about like couple uses, but the razor sharp sort of finish is really not practical. There's no utility sort of feature to a razor sharp finish, so there's no real issue with that wearing out. Now, it being as sharp it is now, you can still feel it's extremely sharp and does extremely well for what I use it for, and that is cutting boxes. This thing has cut through hundreds and hundreds of boxes and not really complains. The adhesive used to package the boxes, the tape, is one thing that I'm very concerned about getting on the blade. I haven't really cared too much about it. I've had it for a couple weeks now, no signs of corrosion. I'm sure after a couple weeks, that's such a young knife that you're not really going to notice any sign of wear or corrosion, but given that it's a Leatherman product, I have no doubt that it will be perfect for years to come. Another nice thing here is actually how well it fits in your hands. You have this finger notch right here. Your other fingers just grab around, it perfectly fits there. Your thumb actually can go anywhere up here, and it gives you that really nice sort of like carving, sort of if you're trying to carve something sort of feel, just a nice place to put your thumb. It's one of the most comfortable knives I've ever held because it perfectly fits up all the space in your hand. It's not like I'm asking for more space to be in somewhere. So now we're gonna focus on a little bit of clarification of what this actually is. Leatherman is well known for making multi-tools with infinite potential, a million different features on them. This is definitely not that. This is supposed to be your bare essentials on a multi-tool, the things you use most, and that's the pliers, the wire cutters, and the knife. Now, you do get a bit driver, which is kind of strange that it's on here. It's got me out of a pinch, like I said, only 3 times I've had to really use it, but all 3 times I was kind of making an excuse to test it. I didn't really need it. I'm sure it's better to have it than not have it, but I think it's a bit of an interesting choice to have on this specific multi-tool. All I really cared about was the knife. Now, why I actually have this here, if you guys can identify this, this is a SOG Power Play. Such a weird knife to actually compare the Leatherman against. It's just the closest multi-tool I had to me. I am extremely lazy and did not want to walk upstairs to get the Leatherman Wave to compare this to, so I'm going to compare it to this just because it's here. Either way, you still get the same idea. This does have a knife, and I don't know what metal this is actually made out of, but I'm sure it's something similar to 420, which is 420HC, a very common standard knife that comes on Leatherman multi-tools. Now, right now, this knife is incredibly sharp. I've probably used it to cut like 3 pieces of paper just to see how it came out of the box, and you know, your traditional shave the hairs off your arm test, and it's already starting to dull out on that razor edge. I'm sure this is more of a utility knife. Again, it's not something that's going to be extremely well. It's a bit super, by a bit, I mean it's extremely uncomfortable to hold in the hands, unlike the Skeletool here, where it's just nice ergonomic. This is all big and fat, kind of disgusting, but it's a different type of tool. This is made to have a million different things on it. I think it has 18 separate tools, and you could really see where that money goes into this one. It's designed to be on a work belt. This one's designed to be in your pocket. It does have the pocket clip here. I don't pocket carry this too often. I usually put it in my pocket if I just don't want it bouncing around on my leg if I'm walking somewhere or something like that. But overall, I really do, I like this on the belt loop. So multi-tools like this are designed to be tools that are very regularly used, meant to get you out of a pinch, like kept in your car and stuff. It's kind of a weird class because this is sort of a cheaper one. It's about 50 bucks. It's actually cheaper than the Skeletool, but it has a lot more tools, but they're all sort of compromised tools. Nothing on this is really like exceeding at anything except for the pliers. That's why I bought this, was for the gear reduction pliers. They're incredible. So it doubles the amount of force you put in, and it's a really, really nice thing. I was just cutting some little bits of wire and some sticks and stuff just because, you know, just got it today, just trying to kill time with it, and it's a lot of fun to use that. The Leatherman, unfortunately, doesn't have a gear reduction on it, but that doesn't take away from the fact how useful these pliers are. They don't spring open, which I know on my Leatherman Sidekick, I think, or Sidekick, or Wingman. I don't remember which one I have that rebounds when you open it, but that's probably one of the best features about it. Unfortunately for this one, it doesn't do that. It gets you, this is more than to just get you out of a pinch. This is something that you could use regularly. It's made to be used and abused. Same goes for the knife. It's not like a knife on this, which is just so you have a knife with you. It is made to be used as much as possible. It is centered around using this, and it is extremely comfortable to use. That is why I think this is such a good multi-tool. That it's not really making compromises. It's giving you quality stuff on this that you could have on your belt, bring with you everywhere, and it's extremely useful to have. Let's talk about the price really quick. So the actual Leatherman Skeletool CX, the total price that I paid for this one was about $55. Got it on sale at REI with some coupons and stuff like that. I was able to get it for $55, which is about the price of the normal Leatherman. I was about to buy the normal Skeletool for about, I think it's also another $55. And the main difference, you lose the coloring, the little carbon strip, which is right there. I'll get some B-roll footage, I'm sure, of that in a little bit. And then you lose the 154 cm blade. I'm really, really happy I went with this one. Definitely, if you're going to buy it, do not even think about getting the other one. You want the 154 cm blade, even if you don't know it. It is worth $10, $15 extra dollars. I guarantee you, you will not be disappointed. Definitely go for the carbon. The carbon is just for looks. Don't think it's to reduce weight. It is 100% for aesthetic purposes because there is no weight difference between this and the other knife. I have not noticed a single gram of difference in carrying the two. I really like this. I'm so happy with this purchase. I've used it every single day for the past few weeks. It's actually kind of sad because it's putting all my other EDC stuff out of rotation, how much I use this one. But there's a reason why Leatherman products have such a good backing. It's just they do such a good job. They research their stuff, the design, especially on some of those B-roll shots. I'll try to capture how well this thing is actually designed. It looks incredible, but it's just a really, really, really nice tool to have on you. It's something elegant, something simple, something functional, and most importantly, something that you will actually use while on you. It's not something that's just nice to have. It's something that's made to be used every single day. I love it. I could recommend this to anybody. It's definitely going to make a good Christmas gift for people that you don't really know what to get. I love getting them knives and stuff like that. This is definitely one of the best things you could get someone just because no one's going to not like it. It's very, very useful, and it's an incredible tool. Over the next few weeks, I'll be sure to actually cover some of the other products from Leatherman, some of the other multi-tools. I'll do a review on this guy, which I'm also very excited for to see how this one fares up. But that's it for today. Make sure you stick with me. I'll be sure to post up as frequently as I can. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to leave a comment if you have any questions or you disagree with anything I'll say. I'll be sure to respond to you as quickly as possible. I'll see you guys next time.